1989, Bob Lazar pops onto the scene, and you wanted to meet him. You did meet him.
Yeah.
We hung out. We would go out and,
Yeah.
and just BS for hours. We'd go up to Rachel, go out in the desert.
Right.
A lot has been written about you and Bob, your relationship. You went into business for a while. How you've sort of, you find him to be a fraud. He made it all up. You parted ways. It was acrimonious. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I never viewed Bob as being a fraud, as to, Area 51 and all of that. I spent a certain amount of time in conversations with him. We put a little bitty business together and tried to do something for about 4 months in that business. And so I had opportunities to test him, like you would, like anybody would, and see if he repeated the same thing and stuck to his stories and or what kinds of things could I find that were not legitimate. And I didn't find much. I wouldn't say it was zero, but I didn't find much that I could say, oh no, this guy is absolutely off, in what he's telling me is the truth. And so I wouldn't say that he had not experienced a lot of the things he claims that he has.
You think he did?
I think the odds, I would look at it in terms of odds. This is Las Vegas, right? Yeah. So I would say the odds are Bob Lazar has, for the most part on everything he has said, it has been telling the truth. Those are the odds. And I would say if you're betting against that, you're betting against substantial odds, and that the chances are you're going to lose. If you think that he's been lying, the chances are you're going to lose.
There's also the allegation about Element 115. Do you think Element 115 existed and that he had a piece of it at one point? And did he try to fool you with the 115 and the aerogel?
I discovered that aerogel was not what it purported, I guess what he was saying it was, and it was accidentally, I accidentally came across the fact that this beautiful, smoky, very lightweight kind of crystal.
Weird, yeah.
Was aerogel, totally by accident. I happened to be going through a magazine, and I thought, oh my God, I saw a picture of this material in the magazine, and I pursued it and found out it was alcohol-based, it was aerogel, it was invented in the 1930s, and it could be used as an insulative kind of material. It was 5 times the weight of air, and it was beautiful. It looked like a kind of a gem. Gee, you'd want to put it on a woman's finger because it looked so beautiful as a big ring. That was the only thing that I really felt that of a physical piece of something. So I have no opinion about the Element 115. I think Bob was intriguing because he knew so much. He's a smart guy. He's no dummy. He's a smart man. He's a smart guy, and very creative. And so, again, I say that the preponderance of evidence to me is in his favor. That he's by and large legitimate.
He had told me that aerogel arrived with the 115. It was like packing material, and he didn't know what it was. But later, I guess he developed a story that he told you about what he thought it was. But he didn't decide to say it was 115.
Well, it doesn't mean that he would necessarily know what the original custody of the material was, right? Just because it's associated with something doesn't mean that this bottle of water, which stands next to something else peculiar, they're both connected. So it means he may have leapt to that assumption that the aerogel, because it was in association physically nearby or whatever with the 115, was somehow connected, and he just didn't know what it was.
That's
so
what he told
I
me.
Would give him the benefit of the doubt on that, and because I don't have anything else that is more concrete, I'd rather not say, well, somebody, that he knew differently.
One of the tests you did was to see if he was motivated by money, and what you've told me is that you didn't think he was.
I tempted him. In different ways. I can remember in a conversation that we had, and he probably isn't even aware that I did that. But I offered him money. I forget the circumstances now, but it didn't tempt him at all. And so I thought, well, either he's awful goddamn peculiar, or there's something legitimate going on here.
You went into business to build a certain device. He set him up in a small lab to see how he did, and then you split. After a while, you split up.
Yeah.
A lot of stories told about that. But
yeah.
What's the bottom line for you?
I had a gal working for me that would check up on him, and I was out of town at the time, and she says, and so I said, okay, what's going on in the lab? And she said, well, I'm really sorry to tell you, it's being used as a little warehouse for furniture, And I thought, oh, geez, okay, I see the signs now. Okay, that's the end of it.
That he just wasn't doing what he said he would do.
Correct, correct. So
well, that sounds very Bob-like, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a storehouse, warehouse for him, because he had this furniture and no place to put it, I guess. Yeah, that was all.